Hi guys, welcome to Finding Sanctuary. My name's Karen. I just wanted to give another update on the Oracle of Portals by Tess Whitehurst. This is the deck that I've been using in February 2023, and as I've done a video before and shared with you guys, anyone that's watched that will realise that as I've been using this deck, I've been very much drawn to journaling with the cards that come through. So what I wanted to do today is I actually wanted to pull some cards and just read to you from the guidebook what it has to say. Now, I don't always use a guidebook when I work with Oracle decks. I tend to favour using my own intuition. Sometimes I will pick up the guidebook and see what it has to say. Other times I will just go with whatever feels right. And for me personally with this deck, what felt right was to be able to journal with it. But I really wanted to show you how powerful this deck is and give you an understanding for the beautiful messages that the guidebook gives for each of the cards. So I thought I would just pull a couple of cards and then read the guidebook message, so that if you're interested in potentially purchasing this deck, or you think it might be something that fits in with your needs, that you would have a better understanding of what it has to offer in the way that it was created to be used. So I'll just pull a card and we'll see what message we get. This card is Birth, and I really love the imagery on these cards. They're just absolutely stunning. So this is card number 1, Birth. By planting a seed and tending to it, you have opened up a portal that brings something new into the world. This might be a new project, condition, relationship, or simply a current of energy that will fill you with fresh new ideas and opportunities. It's almost certain that you know exactly what is being born in your life. And if you don't, the first possibility that comes to mind is probably it. Consider the transcendent beauty of a newborn animal or a seedling as it first peeks above the soil. When baby plants and animals have been in this world only briefly, they have not simply appeared out of nowhere. They have been becoming, hidden in the darkness of the earth, an egg or the womb, and then miraculously they move out of the unseen and into the seen. Their unique essence is crystallized and bathed in light. They become, ever after, a part of the manifest world. This is such a moment of birth. Something that has been becoming is now about to be. How can you help it thrive? Like anything that has just been born, whatever is making its appearance in your life must be thoroughly adored, nourished, and cared for. While parents tend to love their children through their lives, there is something singular about the time they spend with their newborns. In the same way, treasure every moment of this newly arriving essence, attend to it lovingly, and give it everything it needs. If it's a project, begin it and bring it closer to being finished. If it's a relationship, put yourself out there to initiate contact or move to a new level of closeness. If it's a condition, take steps to nurture it, to bring it into being. Set clear intentions for this new arrival. What do you want to experience with regards to it? What are your most positive possible visions for it? Write these intentions in your journal, being sure to phrase them in the present tense, as if already true. Then close your eyes and imagine that they are, in fact, true. This is a form of magic that involves transcending time and attuning to the frequency of what you desire. Feel your heart opening with joy like a flower in the sunlight. Finish by calling on the divine in a way that feels powerful for you and feeling immense gratitude for the new blessings itself, as well as your wonderful intentions for it manifested. So a really beautiful card and some really lovely message there, and some interesting questions that it asks that you could journal about if that's what you wish to do. Now I'll just pull another card so you can see how it works for some of the other messages that come through for the different portals. Look at that, we got birth again. Seriously, if I wanted to do that, I couldn't have done it. Now I'm not going to read it to you again, but this is telling me that we really need to be mindful of what's birthing and how we're looking out for that. Okay, one more. Beyond Fear. I really love this card. I love the joy that's on his face. I'm not sure if you can see it too well, but he's really happy. He's very joyful, and he's letting go. He's not worried about anything. So I'll read you what this one says. Beyond fear. Heroism doesn't erase or negate fear. It transcends fear. The fear is there, but the action is taken away. It's time to take such action. This is not about getting an adrenaline rush from taking a risk for risk's sake. Rather, it's about being brave to protect, rescue, or obtain something precious. When creating art, when you take a risk, it means you're putting yourself out there, being unique and vulnerable in a way that feels scary, so you can communicate with your fellow humans from your heart. The action you're presently being advised to take may be similar. Or this card might be a confirmation that a courageous choice you're already considering will be a wise one to make. If you're unsure what this card is urging you to do, ask yourself these questions. What would I do if I had no fear? What is precious to me in this situation, and how can I valiantly protect it? What would my ideal outcome be? And what challenges might I need to surmount to experience it? Is there something I've been shying away from to avoid attention, exposure, loss, or emotional pain? Is there something I wish to do, but I've been telling myself that I can't? If something is important to you, a relationship or career, for example, it will certainly involve fear. If you don't care about it, you would have nothing to lose and you wouldn't feel afraid. But you do care about this thing, so it will require you to go beyond your fear and take action anyway. If performers waited until they had no jitters before doing a show, we'd have no shows. If heroes waited until they had no fear before taking necessary action to save the day, no one would be saved. Consider the following words of wisdom, all of which apply to the portal at which you now stand. Nelson Mandela. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Anis Nin, life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Eleanor Roosevelt, you must do the things you think you cannot do. Before you boldly act, remember to ask your divine helper for support. Breathe deeply, relax as best you can, and allow yourself to receive that support. Feel it flowing in, then make the leap. So these cards really get you thinking, and I really love them. I love the questions that they get you thinking about, and just the messages that they give. And I'll just give you one more. This one is Sunset. I have to say, if you're really considering this deck, it is a fabulous deck. And if you love to journal, it certainly gives you great questions for each of the cards to be thinking about and contemplating and potentially journaling about. Sunset. The sunset portal reminds us that everything eventually comes to an end. The sun is now setting on something significant in your life, a relationship, a project, or an era. Suppose it's an era that's coming to an end. In that case, it may be characterized by any number of things: a place where you lived, a school or business you attended, or something less obvious like a belief you held, or a habit you regularly engaged in. Watching a sunset inspires us to celebrate the beauty and blessings we received during the day, the pleasure we experienced and the lessons we gained. If there was pain or struggle, a sunset can bring comfort as you watch the day containing these challenges slowly fade into the dark. You may have heard it said that the only constant is change, and this is true on the level of form. In our physical existence, nothing lasts forever. This makes every moment precious and highlights the importance of opening our heart to every feeling and experience as it arises. Then you can fully release old relationships and conditions when it's time for them to go. Feeling pain is a natural part of life. When your heart is broken or you lose something precious, you will feel pain. If you don't, you wouldn't feel love and you wouldn't perceive beauty. Your feelings, painful and pleasant, create movement and open you to your most natural and healthy life momentum and flow. To get your feelings flowing, take a few deep, conscious breaths. Then allow your breathing to be natural as you observe your inhale and exhale. Continue noticing your breath for a few minutes. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. This simple practice will open your heart to whatever feelings are present within you now. And if you're not sure exactly what in your life is coming to an end, conscious breathing will help you align your mind, body, and spirit in a way that will open you up to what you need to know. Embrace the full spectrum of feelings related to whatever is ending in your life. Have compassion for yourself as you recall any pain you've experienced. Fondly remember the beauty you perceived. Congratulate yourself for all you've learned and then let go. So there you have it, guys. Just a few of the cards from this deck. They really are powerful. I know I've said that before. I can't say it enough. There's just so much going on. There's beautiful messages, and each of these cards leads you to a different portal that allows you to look at life from a different perspective and to jump into that portal and work with the energy that it provides. So a really, really lovely deck. One that I'm so excited to have, and one that I look forward to finding other ways that I can work with it instead of just intuitively and journaling with it as I have now. I think that I will try and work with what the guidebook says and see how that stands up for the last few days of February.